October 2015, CIA headquarters Virginia John Brennan receive a call from an unknown number. The caller seems to be a child, who told John that he hacked the entire system of CIA. If this call was made to a common person, it would be considered a prank. But John Brennan was the director of World Most Powerful Intelligence Agency CIA by that time. This is the story of two kids who hacked the entire system of the CIA and surprised the superpower like America. Who were those children? And why and how did they hack CIA entire system? When the caller was asked for his demand, he says that the US should stop attacking the Middle East, especially Palestine, and let the world be at peace. Even before his phone call, the CIA knew that their system had been hacked. As soon as the call went down, the entire American government and the CIA went into action. And because a kid had hacked such a major intelligence agency, it was quite an embarrassment for the CIA. Let us tell you here that CIA agents only give up if their identities are revealed. And there is even a Star Bow branch inside the CIA headquarters in Langley that give officers coffee in such cups that don't have any logo or any officer name. The reason for this is that through these cups, CIA agents could not be traced. Now imagine how big a deal it would be for the CIA, which is so careful about the smallest things, to have their system hacked. When the investigation started, it was found that this call was made by a 15-year-old boy from the city of Leicester. This boy called himself Kraka. But we have to go back a little further to 2008 to find out how and why he hacked the CIA. Where the story begins. In 2008, in the U.S. state of Virginia, there was another boy known as Default. And he was so fond of video games that he began to hack into the game's programming and make some changes to win in video games, such as online games like Counter-Strike. He used to change game roles to win the game very easily. He created cheats. He started to play things according to his own desire. And all this, he learned from the internet. This boy named Default got all this inspiration from a hacking group called Anonymous, which became quite famous in 2008. The group used to make news headlines at that time. This group used to hack big websites and write their own messages on them to raise their voice. Seeing all this, Default Anonymous was quite impressed, and then he also started to step into the world of hacking. Default started hacking small websites slowly, but he wanted to do something big for which he also needed a hacking group, so joined a hacking group named AnonSec. This group had hacked many websites before, but these hacks were mostly done for political purposes, means they used to spread viruses on the internet, and whatever computer that virus entered, then it was under control of a AnonSec group. All the computers that have the virus is called a bot, while the entire network of computers is called a botnet. Because being a member of AnonSec, Default also had access to that botnet. And he noticed that in this botnet, there was a computer that belonged to a medical college in Canada. Default did some hard work on that computer and got access to the financial records of that medical college. He found that the school owed more than $9 million to the students, and that all the records were now in Default hands, which he deleted from the college's computer. The first hacking of the Default was successful, due to which the entire system of the medical college was disrupted. His first hack was done out of mischief, but the next hack was done in anger. In 2014, the Danish government passed an embarrassing law, according to which anyone can do sex with animals. The news shocked animal rights activists around the world. Default also had a dog that he loved dearly. So Default got angry, and together with his group, hacked the official website of Denmark and wrote big on it. Did you know your government allows animal sex? Not only that, but by using botnet N, all the websites that were created in favor of this law were attacked and closed. Due to the hacking of Denmark's official website, the news spread, and Denmark's move was condemned all over the world. People started criticizing Denmark. Government could not bear this pressure, and the next year they had to withdraw this decision. Default had succeeded in its goal for the first time, but people began to give credit to the Anonymous group because it was the hacking group that was making headlines at the time. Default didn't like it at all that he had done such a great feat, but someone else was taking credit for it, but he did not give up and continued his work. Like other hackers, Default did not disclose his identity. He knew that if he was ever traced due to hacking, the consequences could be quite dire. He did not normally use his home Wi-Fi, but had purchased a satellite connection which he installed far away from his home. And from there to his home, through a private network, he used to use the internet. His computer was also very secure. Even because of this security, it took 30 minutes for his computer to turn on. But for the sake of his privacy, he had no problem waiting that long. Well, so far you know only two characters in this story. One is Kraka, who lives in England, and the other is Default, who lives in the USA. They didn't know each other before 2013, but an incident happened which brought them together. Edward Joseph is a computer intelligence consultant at the National Security Agency. While working on an American government project, he came to know that the CIA had secretly kept the data and private information of every internet user, and then use it for their own purposes without the user knowing. Edward wanted to expose the secret of the CIA. But on the other hand, he was also afraid that this work could not be done while living in America, that he would be killed here or would be sent to jail for the crime of leaking secret information. That's why Edward took a leave and went to Hong Kong, where he revealed this American secret to the world in front of journalists. As soon as this news broke, people started to feel angry that their data was being used without their permission and their movements were being monitored from time to time. As a reaction to this, Default and Kraka meet each other. The two decided to teach the US government and the CIA a lesson. That how does it feels when someone's personal data got leaked. Kraka and Default had a common goal. Default wanted revenge against the USA for destroying its people's privacy, while Kraka wanted revenge for the attacks on Gaza. That is, the enemy of both of them was the American government. First, they leaked in public phone number of James Clapper, the director of the American National Intelligence Agency. And anyone can find their phone number just by Googling it. Now he wanted to hack another high-profile person and took on the mission of hacking CIA Director John Brennan. Kraka started searching for John on the internet, and he finds his public phone number. He noticed that the number belonged to Verizon, an American mobile operator. He called Verizon's internal tech team, acting as an employee of the company, and said he was contacting them to resolve a customer problem. Because there was a technical issue in his system, the Verizon team asked for his PIN code to confirm his identity, which he had already hacked. After verification, Verizon shared John Brennan's personal details with Kraka. Now he had John's account number, backup phone number, address, and the last 4 digits of his bank account number. Now the next step was to hack Brendan's email. He found out that Brennan uses an email from a company called AOL instead of Yahoo or Gmail. He called the AOL support team and said that I have forgotten my password and it has to be resended. AOL support member asked last 4 digits of bank card to confirm, which Kraka already had. So Kraka immediately got access to his email address. Now the CIA director's personal email account was with Kraka. He opened John Brennan's private email, which contained all the important and top-secret documents. Data of other CIA officers, including their social security numbers and instructions from the government, was also known. By then, Brennan had also learned that his email account had been hacked and immediately closed his account. But now it was too late because one Kraka had downloaded all this data to his computer. One by one, Kraka started making public all the official documents, which caused an uproar in the entire United States. The CIA was getting discredited all over the world. Now it became a compulsion for them to catch the hackers. They wanted to catch them as soon as possible, but they couldn't get any leads. Few days after calling John Brennan, Kraka shared the personal information of 9,000 Justice Department and 20,000 FBI agents on social media. After doing all this, Kraka was living his life peacefully. He thought that it might not be possible to catch him. But on the other hand, Default, who was a resident of USA, was now worried. He was afraid that if he was caught, it will be not good for both of them. They might never have been caught if they didn't do this mistake. He drunkenly told his another friend that he was behind the hacking of the CIA. Just this mistake led to the arrest of them. Few days later, FBI raided Default's room and arrested him. During the interrogation, Karika's name also came up, who was arrested with the help of the British police. Kraka's real name is Kane Gamble, while the default name is Justin Gray Liverman. Kraka was sentenced to 2 years in prison because of his youth, while Default, who was not directly involved in the hacking of the CIA, was sentenced to 5 years. Both are out of jail now and pursuing their careers in cybersecurity. What do you think both of them did right or wrong? You must tell me in the comments.